les quelques slides que Rebecca avait préparés, mais on va aussi pouvoir revenir sur les fusions qui arrivent enfin à grands pas. Elles ont été un peu plus longues à mettre en place que prévu de notre côté. Du coup, on les a fait plus tardivement que ce qu'on souhaitait. Cependant, on va pouvoir aussi, je pense, globalement, le fait de les faire plus tard, ça fait qu'on va pouvoir fusionner plus de serveurs ensemble et avoir des serveurs qui vont du coup durer plus longtemps sur le temps, sur
Okay,
le
so they
nouveau
are
format
talking
qu'on va
about
avoir du coup sur
the
ce moment.
server merge. So yeah,
Je
they
pense qu'on
are
peut
going to
commencer
be
sans
able
plus
to
tarder.
merge a lot of servers together.
Voilà.
Ça
Pas tout
me-
écouté. Mais...
Ah,
Au
mais
moins
ça
comme
commence
ça,
à maîtriser.
on sait de quoi on va parler. On va pas parler équilibrage, on va pas parler forcément de tout ce qui va arriver pour
So
la mise à
this
jour,
stream
vraiment
is all about
spécifiquement pour la mise à jour
the
d'avril.
recent
On a
news
pas
they
mal
have been
de
sending
choses, de
to
débugs,
everyone.
d'améliorations qui, je pense, feront plaisir à beaucoup de joueurs aussi. On n'en parlera pas là dans ce live-là. Il y aura un temps spécifique pour en parler plus tard.
So
Tout
there's
à fait.
nothing about
Mais du coup, au niveau déjà des actualités
optimization
du moment,
and
pour revenir sur cette
balance
dernière
on the game.
semaine, on souhaitait revenir sur déjà les changelogs, parce que oui, ça vous fait forcément beaucoup réagir, le fait qu'on ait des changelogs qui soient de moins en moins fournis en termes de debug.
So
Mais il y a
lately, changelogs
plusieurs
have
raisons à ça.
been
La toute première,
very
c'est
small.
déjà la très grossière erreur qu'on a fait il y a maintenant quelques semaines de cela, sur le reset des interfaces, qui a été une véritable douche froide de notre côté. C'est pas normal
They are
qu'on
talking about the
en vienne à
UI
vous
reset
patch
that
des
has been
modifications
a
telles que
huge
ça
mistake
sur ces semaines.
weeks ago.
C'est vraiment pas logique qu'on puisse vous avoir, vous envoyer des resets d'interface et que vous perdiez complètement en qualité de jeu. Du coup, on a préféré prendre aussi ce temps pour revoir nos process en interne et faire en sorte que ça n'arrive plus. C'est vraiment quelque chose qui a été déplorable pour la
So
qualité
they
du jeu, pour vous aussi.
are
C'est
working
juste
on
de la
avoiding
frustration
this
qui s'accumule
because
chaque semaine
this is
lorsqu'il y a des
not
aussi gros resets
something that
d'interface.
should be
On sait
happening.
que c'est pas du tout le sujet sur lequel nous sommes les moins attaqués sur le sujet. Vraiment, on a encore beaucoup de boulot à faire dessus, tant sur le debug ou autre chose. Mais du coup, c'est aussi une des raisons qui fait qu'on a revu nos process en interne et on a préféré passer beaucoup plus de modifications pour la mise à jour en termes de debug que de les passer encore au compte-gouttes chaque semaine, comme ce qu'on a
So
fait
they want
depuis
to
le
do
lancement
a
de décembre.
bigger deal
Ce
of
qui fait que
correcting stuff
là, globalement, vous constatez des
in
changelogs qui
a
sont très peu
milestone
remplis, et
instead
c'est
of
vraiment
just
bien que de le dire,
going
puisque là, pour celui d'aujourd'hui, on était sur 2 lignes,
one by one
littéralement.
each week.
Mais l'objectif, c'est de pouvoir vous livrer plus de debugs lors de la bêta qui arrive dans quelques
Okay,
semaines
so they want
pour la mise à
to
jour qui arrive à mi-avril.
give
C'est
you
vraiment
a beta on
d'avoir déporté
2 weeks,
tous
something
ces
like that,
debugs et tous ces changelogs qui
in
vont
order
forcément un petit
to
peu
test a
amenuiser.
lot more
Sachant
bug
que, du
fixes
coup,
they will have
vis-à-vis de ça, il
done
y a
by
deux
then.
éléments importants à prendre en considération, c'est que ce n'est pas directement lié à Unity ou à
Sure,
quoi
I
que ce
can.
soit ou à la version 3.0. C'est de manière générale dans l'historique du jeu, toujours deux semaines avant la bêta, on fait passer beaucoup moins de choses puisqu'on a des process en interne pour préparer la bêta et du coup c'est beaucoup plus difficile pour nous de vérifier l'exactitude et les bugs, qu'il n'y ait pas de régression ou de choses comme ça. Donc
Okay,
de manière
so
générale, déjà de base, on fait passer beaucoup moins de choses
since
les
they
semaines
are
avant.
preparing for
Et
beta, they have
voilà,
less people
en plus,
working
il y a
on bug fixing.
parmi les
They have
bugs
a
les plus
lot.
importants que vous remontez, là j'ai vu parler déjà de
Oh,
la bêta infectée.
yeah,
J'ai vu,
okay. Overall, they're talking about the battle bugs we have been encountering lately. They are going to create a beta, and that's why they are working on less bug fixes right now, because they have a process and they have their teams focusing on this first. They are preparing June update. Aren't we on April update right now? Okay, so the late weeks are a reorganization of the team in order to maintain a production state that is a little better in the next weeks coming. They want to do less bug fixes each week and more milestone bug fixes, such as like the quarterly bug fixes the releases they want to do. Mm? Less fixes during the week, each week, not over time. They are going to be fix bugs a little more often during milestones instead, in order to avoid breaking too much stuff. They changed the way of obfuscating data between client and server. They have been banning this week some bots. 200 accounts have been banned for Coliseum bots and some treasure hunts too. And these numbers are the ones that you can see in game and not the ones that can't even get through the base wall of the game. They will try to get us more updated about this situation over time. They did mention something about the delayed April updates because they are working on the June updates and they have beta processes and everything. And since they are reorganizing right now, they delayed for a month and are planning to open a beta for us in 2 weeks or so. So inside the accounts they have banned for botting, some are just regular players that have been starting to cheat. Now he's thinking them. General warning about do not cheat, do not be an ass. Just play normally, because if you do something, you're gonna get banned. And this ends the last few weeks situation. We're about to go into the Devblog for breeding. Yeah, a few days ago, a Devblog on breeding revamp has been sent. There have been a lot of answers on the post, forum post. and a lot more posts have been opened. And they have done a survey. So yeah, this was a first Devblog to show what they wanted to do. And in the end of April, they will send another Devblog, a more concrete one about what they have discussed from your feedback. There have been a lot of points in the Devblog that weren't clear. And it's going to be easier for him, for the game designer, to describe the situation better using voice. So there's been 8,700 answers to the survey. There's a lot of difference between the people that are actively breeding and the people that aren't, and it reflects into these results. On the right graph, this is the weighted average of every answer. They will be doing. Yes, you can see they are die-hard breeders that do not want some changes, but the changes are kind of welcomed, but there are a lots of issues about the paddocks, for example, and the stables. So Cool has been working on the revamp for a few weeks now. Some players have been part of the thought process for this revamp. So this system is currently not very much available to new players. And they want to make it a little more reachable for everyone. He just make sure that to remind you that this is not a definitive decision and there will be another one in the end of April. The only objective of this revamp is to make sure that everyone can access it, and the people that are using it are gonna still have an advantage on it. Advantage, sorry. So since they are removing the parchments from the breeding, they are changing the way of obtaining them and also the resources too. They are gonna add a new resource on Drago turkeys. And the objective is to make sure that breeding is usable in level 200 crafts. So instead of trading the mounts, you will have to craft the resources out of mounts. So the higher the generation, the higher the amount of resources you obtain. They want to make capturing mounts very easier for people. And there will be specific zones for for the rhinoceros and the one I forgot the name of. Emu something. So the catching items are going to be changed too in order to make it easier to access too. So the UI, yes, it's a mock-up. It's not a real interface. The UI is not the final one. This is just a drawing, and it's made by the game designer, not an artist. But I noted that people like to have a gamble over getting a new generation between breeding two mounts of a previous generation. Since you have to take time to level the mounts to get a higher rating of a new generation, you will have to play with gambling a little bit, so you will keep the uncertainty a little bit if you don't want to wait. Because the higher the level of the mount, the higher the chance of getting a new generation mount. So a lot of RNG is involved in there. So you will keep your achievements if you already unlock them. They are unsure about some features that we currently have, such as castrating mounts. So the achievements on this will be lost. And they will maybe have some new achievements related to capturing mounts, since the mechanic is going to be changed, sorry. So there will be, the leveling is going to be restricted to the use of consumables inside the paddock. Okay. And yes, the level of the mount is not related whatsoever to the level of the profession you will have to. Yes. So if your breeding profession is a higher level, you will have a better efficiency at doing that, but you don't need to do that at all. So the people that have the potions to give experience to the mounts right now will get the new resource for the paddocks instead as a replacement. You will have the new consumable for breeding to replace your potions. So you will have the new thing that have to manage the gauges inside the new UI. Yeah, the game designer right now is saying that there is a big issue about generating mounts right now, since currently you can generate a lot of mounts and there is no control over it. So right now, yes, you have to manage a little more. So mounts will be a little more valuable with this situation. They are talking about how people will manage this situation. So they said that the stables would be at 60 capacity, and they will change that. And they do not know at what point they will upgrade this amount. So for now it's 60, but they will be putting more, but they do not know how much more. Sixty is very much too low, and there's a discussion about multi-accounts because people can abuse that. But this is not something they can take into consideration since the game is working like that. And if you just keep on considering only multi-account players, you will have to make the game very difficult for mono accounts. So the new paddocks will be specific to a special item. Right now, this is item, so yeah. And it will be restricted to a level of the profession. And this hasn't appealed much. Because running around is not fun. So yeah, the game designer is pretty disappointed in this because he was like, yeah, make specialties for every location was interesting for him, but not for us actually. And there are things to take into consideration, like the map congestion. So they will have to. They were talking about making a potion to move around the paddocks, but that's not something they will do, maybe, because it's not a given. And now about deleting the private paddocks. So they want people to be equal, so they won't change anything about removing the private products. Yes, you will have to manage. That's the way it is. And they can't generate cameras. So if you spend a lot more than the base sale price, you just have it up into your ass. I think that was TH for treasure hunt. So they are thinking about compensating the people about this, but they have not settled right now. Yeah, on some servers there are a lot of paddocks because they are merged servers. So yeah. Yeah, they cannot manage that because that would be generating billions and billions of karma. And he said again, it is what it is. And the last points of the modifications is mounts underwater, and the restriction for mounts will be removed. So you will be able to use your Drago Turkey below water level. And riding tools too. So the game designer says that genealogy is not a center point of the breeding system, and there's a lot of people that are just purifying the genealogy tree anyway. So it doesn't matter much if the genealogy is just the two parents and that's it. Maybe just shorten the tree instead of remove it and get all. Yeah, in optimizing the process of breeding, you always tend to remove that part of the breeding system. So he doesn't know if there is any reason to keep it around right now. If it bothers too much people, they will maybe keep it around, but they're not very happy about something that just people want to bypass anyway. He's not very convinced. So for the handyman, it's not a very easy prof to level up. And it's mainly breeding tools. So with the new profession right now, they are very unsure about keeping handyman around. That's handyman, right? Okay, so they're considering keeping the handyman around and use it for the guild revamp that is coming by the end of the year. And yeah, just switching the key and everything that is done by the handyman right now to another profession that already has shields, trophies, and everything like that is just making a jack of all trades. This is a very touchy subject. And they are talking about removing um, the set of keys. And yeah, if you just do that, the keys are going to be very, very expensive. They are afraid of reduction of people helping each other because of this. They want to keep it around for now. I'm not sure. So they think they will keep the profession like that, even though the breeding tools will be removed from it. He jumped over a question. So in the survey, there was that question about the currently existing certificates. They do not want to remove all the certificates right now. 35% of the people who answered the survey want to remove all certificates, all existing ones. And they want people to start on the same foot with that new feature. So they want people to keep the certificate but not be able to use it in the new breeding system. You will be able to trade them for anything that you can trade for them for. You can equip them, but they cannot be used for the new system. Yeah, if you trade certificates for a certain amount of resources right now, this is going to be a little problematic. So if you exchange the old certificates, you will keep the current change rates instead of the new one. So they consider their new decision to be a fair one, which means that you can use the certificate, trade them for the current trade things, so parchments or horns if this is a rhinital. And I don't remember what was the trade one for the CMU. And you won't be able to trade them for the new Dragoturkey resource. So if you want to have the new change rates, you will have to work with new mounts captured with the new system. So they are trying to make sure that everyone can take part in it without feeling fucked or being let apart. There's an analogy about if you change the new Orchard office into something else, the new Orchard office quest into something else, you won't be able to destroy the current offices, but this will still be something they will be able to do. But this is a touchy subject and they know about it. And this has been taken into consideration for the whole thought process of the revamp. Nothing else to add. They are very unsure about their decision, but they are convinced it will work. Yeah, there was a similar situation in 2012 when the achievements have been released. and people wanted the whole amount of resources to be deleted so that everyone has the same experience about it. But this hasn't been done. And the economy just takes a lot more time to adapt to the new situation because a lot more resources are going to be generated. So yeah, there has been people asking if that was possible to just put the mounts into the rune generating system. So should we do it? Should we not do it? This would be another way of making sure you can make money with the job. So what to do for the people that already are breeding, but they will have to start at level 0? Well, they want to give a little advantage, a little speed up to these people concerning the leveling of this new profession. For people that already are breeding right now. They won't be giving us candies for that. I'm very sad. And this wraps up the subject about breeding. No, there's not more candies. They do not give them. I'm sad about that. So they are asking chat if there are more questions. Do you want me to open the chat on the side? So people are complaining that this has been done now, 3 months later after opening the new service, but he says no, this is going to be like 9 months, maybe more. So this is not something that should be a problem right now. And they want to stop the Q&A for now. So there's a subject about merging servers now. So the Pioneer servers. There are a lot of Pioneer servers, and there's a lot of consideration about merging them. Like some empty servers near empty servers, and some very populated ones. Losing the stream. So they have updated the merging tool to take into consideration stuff that has been difficult to do. And so the multi-servers will get merged first on March 11. So Rafal and Mikal 1 and 2 will be merged into Rafal. Brial 1 and 2 will be merged into Brial. And Salar will be merged with Corial into Salar. I think you can read. So there will be only 3 Pioneer multi-account servers after the merge on March 11. Oh, mono account 3. Good job, Gluto. So Dakal 8, 9, 10, and 12 will merge into Dakal. Dakal 1, 4, 6, and 11 into Mikal. And Dakal 2, 3, 5, and 7, so most of the English-speaking ones, will be merged into Corial on March 18th. So there will be a news by the end of the week about this situation. That's quite some good news, actually. And all the stuff that has to be taken into consideration will be talked about in the news by the end of the week. We have the Ocherdolphus dragon baby, and you don't like it? Come on, man. Yeah, the reason why there's 6 servers and they have these 6 names is because they want to keep these names around because it's a symbol for Dofus 3.0 release. Brial 1 was the highest populated server. And yeah, Brial will be a big server actually. And the other multi-account servers are a lot less populated, so they get merged by 4 and they will have quite even population. So yeah, they invited the international community to go into Michal, and sadly, Michal will fuse with French servers. So yeah, since there is no restriction on communities anyway, they don't see any issue with that. But the people will have to play with different communities there on Raffle for multi-account servers. So the free transfers now. yeah, this has been a problem. And people do not want it back. That's something to take into consideration. Yeah, the official server, the historic servers are getting back some players. So there is nothing to be worried about on this situation so far. Yeah, there's too many people on the mono account servers, so you can merge all of them into one. That's pretty logical, actually. You would have like 15, 16K queues, and this is a number that has been pulled out of our pop's ass, so take into consideration. Okay, so you will have lots of informations into the end of week news. If they see that the population is still decreasing, they will maybe take into consideration and do another merger. But for now, it's not something to think about. Will we merge into history? No. For now, no. If the population just plummets into near zero, yes. But for now, there's no reason to do that. For now, no. So the last change about arch monsters has been doing a lot of discussions into the forums. The previous one was when they created the new mechanic from the new quest line. Last week's ×4 rate. Has been applied only on historical servers in order to make sure that everyone has the same rates. And yeah, they will have to take into consideration that merging servers will have an impact on arch monster generation. The Pebble event. So they don't see a point into making another Pebble event right now because the Pebble price has reduced to something that is livable right now. But if the prices just go up again a lot, they will do another event. For now, they don't see a reason for doing it. So they will also manage stuff about the thingies. If the Arc monster generation is too low. Elio will get changes on the 15 April update. There is going to be a lot of changes on the class, new triggers, new effects that align with the class's mechanic. So there will be a beta in this month, and this will include the Elio changes. Okay, so there's an issue that has been a little too major to not be taken into consideration and fixed for maybe next week. Launcher. The update sizes 10 gigabytes every day, every week. And that's because the maps had been changed. So yeah, the reason why we were getting a lot of data to update is because we have the HD 4K pack, and that's because they have been modifying map data, and they are refraining to do that until the April updates, when they will change the engine. The new subscription packs will be releasing by the end of the month. There will be, during this month too, an event for the palaces actually, from Freeghost and from Coalax. UI changes. There will be UI changes, and we already saw that in the Devblog. Yeah, okay. He's just saying that it won't be taking a lot more RAM. Yeah, the only updates they will be doing until the beta are just the very critical ones. They can manage into the current engine, like the mounts that were getting invisible for some reason. So yeah, there will be updates that won't need downtimes for the servers. Just have to close the client and reopen it with the update. So the only reason that they have to refresh the servers is when they have to get the game designers involved and change the core elements of the game. The new dimension will be coming by this summer, maybe a little before, maybe a little during. And the guilds will be coming by the end of the year. So our area is getting changed one day. He has a problem with that. He's been doing too much revamps on areas lately. And he wants to focus more into new gameplay ideas instead of just changing the map. Yeah, when they changed zones, like for the grown-up region, there's like not much to do, and that's done. Yeah, he was thinking about like maybe changing, refreshing the situation on Automai, but that's like, yeah, no, maybe not. Let's consider it later and focus on making the game more refreshing overall and change the gameplay instead of focusing on changing the areas again and again and again. Dreams. There will be a devblog around April 8th about dreams. So there will be a long devblog about the changes they are thinking about for dreams. This is a big news there. And according to our Pope, the changes that are breeding right now are interesting, very interesting, and make him want to play it. So they will be talking with players that are, yeah, we need a Pope emote, and I need to deal with that. Make it for your channel, maybe. Oh, spoilers? So there will be changes on performance and UI. There will be changes on the engine. Changes on masses of people during events like we had during dungeons, on perturbations during Back to Rush, about moving around in different areas and cities, optimization about that. A lot of fixes for battles and UI. Some modifications on monsters and dungeon levels that were not correctly scaled. And they are thinking about changing the deal on the turn length, turn duration in battle. Elio will get changes. That was expected. And a lot of classes will get slight changes, like 3 to 4 changes here and there. There will be changes on the achievement UI to make it clearer on exploration. So the UI is more a technical revamp. As we saw during the Devblog, this is more about speech bubbles and stuff like that. Profession interface that was just very bad. But yeah, they won't be doing everything for April, only the things that they mentioned for now. So yeah, they are focusing on UI UX changes in order to optimize the entire experience. And they won't be able to do that in a single update, because that's humanly impossible. Bots again. So they took time, too much time, in order to manage an entire bot system. It's been a month or so that they have been coming back. They have managed to make a usable tool to ban people, mass ban people and bots, specifically bots. And there will be a regular alimentation and use of this system, like every 2 or 3 days. There will be waves of bans. Okay, so on the reporting tool, you will have a notification when your thing has been taken into consideration. And an action has been taken, be it nothing or anything, but you will know what. So the auto tool and the reports tool are very important. So continue reporting the bots that you see. Maybe they haven't been seen by the automatical process. Yeah, and the Pope has lost himself, I guess. He repeated the same thing. And now he shuts up. It's sad. Like League of Legends, yeah, kind of. Okay, so when you report someone and an action has been taken, you will be notified. So yeah, the regions that had paddocks into Bonta and Bragma will become Rhinital and Sea Mule zones. So basically mainly Rhinitals for the Bonta and Bragma zones, and they are thinking about a region underwater for the Sea Mules. So a dungeon finding group, a group finding tool is again in consideration. The previous one was bad and it was removed, but they have to do something to simplify group making. Okay, so now he's getting angry at us decisions that were about making a bag for the entire party. And he's pissed off right now because it's been again mentioned in the chat. There will be changes on recipes too during April update. So he thinks that the event with the pebbles has been a good balance. So it was a temporary solution. Maybe they will turn it on again. They don't know, but they will still change recipes according to that. New character bodies are still getting talked about, but they won't deal with that for now. This is not a priority. It's paused for now. The main focus is the dimension, the Osamadas dimension, and the new bodies will be so yeah, the alternate bodies that they showed during July, something like that, are something that they are still working on, but as a non-priority creation. There's only one team that is editing the UI, editing the gameplay, and bug fixing. And they are mainly focusing on bug fixings for now. Dofus has a lot of difficulty keeping players around, having a player retention. Dofus is a niche game, basically. It's not very much accessible. They would like to make that possible. But when they try to do something like that, people are just complaining that this is casualization of the game. The guild UI is something that they want to talk about again. Oh, the quest UI. You're welcome. You can just launch so many quests. There's no limit into that, so you can feel lost when you log off and log back again, like 5-6 days later, maybe more. Where am I? What was I doing? What's this quest? It's very unclear. The game is 20 years old. And there's a lot of challenge about keeping the old content very, very important for the core of the game. But it's consistently evolving, so it's very difficult to maintain that. Yeah. Yeah, the game is really old and this is difficult to go back to it. But yeah, the game is 3 months old, not 20 months old. Please. Listen to Gluto, he knows everything. He's true. This is truth. So yeah, he doesn't want to keep his situation where he's just releasing fast food content, as he says. But he dreams of doing a lot of content that is accessible to everyone. What was Dofus 20 years ago is not something that appeals to the new player bases, maybe. So they have to work on a lot of feature and make them closer to what the players want and what the players are seeking and make it more accessible. And the people that were playing back then are just playing differently right now because the world evolves and the game evolves. And yeah, that's the main reason why temporaries have a lot of appeal during the first days, because it's just a lot of change. So different, it's refreshing. It takes back people that haven't been playing for multiple years, maybe. And temporaries is the best option for these players that want to play a game, but not in this current situation, just in something that is a lot more refreshing and not too much involvement is implied. So there's a YouTuber named Le Pire Mate who did something, a video, and he said, I never played Dofus. And there's been an interview about that person that has never played Dofus, and he said, and yeah, he's felt lost because there's too many FedEx quests and it's not very much guided. So maybe they have to take into consideration maybe voicing the characters, making it a little more alive and less FedExy, because the dialogues are not getting read at all. So they want to make it more appealing and make sure that people have the best experience doing the quests. We didn't have autopilot back then, autopilot accessible to everyone, I mean. But yeah. So the autopilot changed that experience, but it also reduced the amount of time people were taking to read the dialogues. Yeah, the one problem of the game and one advantage of the game too is that you can play the game and watch a Netflix series because you don't need to be actively playing the game when you're just questing, which is something that doesn't help with attention. The cooldown bug will be fixed during the April update. That's very fucking late. Okay, so they won't be merging the Colosseum pools between historical and Pioneer servers before the Q2 update. Tactical mode. But they haven't been progressing on the tactical mode subject, sadly. No, Unity 6 will not fix everything, and this is very difficult to find memory leaks for now for them. So the options and the achievements UI will be updated because they are not accessible right now. Yeah, I think Unity 6 will add issues, but will fix some. Yeah, the Haven bags could be the end of housing and could have a lot more stuff to deal with. They have an example with Wakfu. This is something that is easy to get better, make better. But yeah. This is not a priority though. So housing and everything would be something that they want to consider. merging, so removing the houses and just using the haven bags for that. The more Hmm? Wow. So the themes for the Haven bags are weirdly managed. They are hidden gifts that the game checks you have every time you enter the Haven bag. That's stupid. So what we have inside the game right now is maybe less than a quarter of the ideas that they had for the Haven bag when they created them. It's complete spaghetti code, and it's very difficult to just think about it again. That would need an entire revamp. There wasn't any way to manage themes between servers by another mean that had another mean that would be a lot more convenient than using invisible gifts. Ooh, okay. So on the April update, the changed spaghetti code to spaghetti code. Okay. So the sidekicks will be able to play a lot faster after the April update. That's a big yay, actually. Yeah, that's it. Faster sidekicks. So they will take into consideration maybe sharing the cosmetics bag between servers that are historical and pioneer, but they won't do it for now. They will wait for after the fusions and think about it after the update. Yeah, KTA subjects. Can you do something up for us, KTA team? Because we won't, is the situation. Yeah, the comment sections of videos on YouTube or Discords or anything like that are very bitter, and that's normal. So they need to find the middle ground between getting insulted and having arguments with this. Because they want to get the meaning of everything. Who's mean nothing to us? We've seen what Monsieur Cheer. Yes. They need to find the middle ground between pure emotion and rational thinking. So they have been insulted a lot with that, but it's not forcibly the entire community. The reason why they did a survey is to make sure to have centralized data and lower the amount of emotional discussions. They use the survey tool to make sure that everyone can have their words and not only the 20% that are speaking on Twitter or on the forums, because this is not a majority. Yeah, this is again a discussion about finding the middle ground in there. Yeah, French forums. I'm pretty sure this is only French forums there. And the common ground between everything that has been said in the community is that people are passionate about the game. And any kind of return of experience on the game, be it very bad, be it very good, be it positive, be it negative, is something that has to be taken into consideration and it's very valuable to them. About parchments. %40 want the parchments to be transferred between a lot of features, and 30% want the doppels back. They won't be removing them and that's it. But they have to find a way to generate them properly. And they do not want to do it with a weekly quest because it would be inducing FOMO. But coming back to what it was back then is not a solution to them. So yeah, people are afraid of the situation for the dreams, because there's been a question about someone that is on stage 2300, and that's what kind of compensation I will get if I have to get reset. There may be one, they maybe not have a reset, but if there is, they will be compensated. They are thinking about it right now. This hurts, but it's okay. Emotes and finishers are still being worked on. Animations are not done yet. Some animations will be coming by April update, but not all of them. No opening for a new Automustam. The way too big subject, and they don't have the means to do that for now, and they have to get a dedicated team to deal about the situation. So the solution of having only one birth per reproduction is something that they want to keep. It's supposedly definitive, but it's not. Maybe not. They do not want to have an exponential raise of the mounts there. So they take the decision to have it at one for now, but maybe two at some point. But they cannot start with two, for example, because making two birth for one reproduction would be giving too much advantage if it happens to be too much generation again. And that was the same way of thinking for the Pebble event. They went for the lowest number and then made it grow to make sure that the thing was not going to blow up too much. There will be no detail and no spoiler on the heliotrope modification. Final question for everyone. They're looking for a true question and not a question about art style artists. There's a rework on Osamuda's class that should be happening during the Q2 update. They do not want to make monster capture for the Osamudas, but they want to change the way the summons are managed right now. Yeah, the summonings will be changing. But no capture monsters for now. Is it a problem to use Dofuspool and Noob all the time? Guides are pretty much normal now. This is the basics of playing the games now. So they think that Dofuspool and Noob is something that we have to take care about and use, because the game design has a specific vision, and they want to keep that specific vision and be not too FedExy about the game. Yes, it's not a lot of people now. The quests are designed in a specific way, and some players want to play with a specific kind of help. Sometimes they don't want to have it the hard way, and that's where DPLN happens to work. Tournament servers should be opening soon. Rare drops will not be changed. A big subject about nuggets and AVAs. So you are attacking the breeding mafia, but not the alliance mafia. And they are taking it into consideration. They are working on it since January. But their priority were the pebbles at that time. And since thinking about stuff is taking resources, they can't just manage that for now. But they are still thinking about it. This is not very satisfying, but this is an answer about the situation on the nuggets. They are thinking about changing this too. And for now, the bigger problem was the pebbles and not the nuggets for now. They think, but they don't act. But they think. That's important, therefore. And that's a wrap. They are losing sanity points doing these, but that's okay. So Salida infected state is maybe getting corrected before the April update, but for now, no. It's been a pleasure to exchange with the community again. And he wishes us goodbye and good day. Thanks everybody for following this translation. I'm a potato, so I didn't think good, but thank you. I hope that was very much understandable at the best of my ability. I will see you on the pub and maybe on the next translation if you want some support and I'm available. See ya.